6 months ago we bought this block of land on the edge of a small town in New Zealand, looking for a simpler life. I planted a small no-dig vegetable garden and I'm gradually planting fruit trees so we can live with some level of self-sufficiency. About half the land is grass and the other half is woodland, or what New Zealanders would call bush. The grass section is mostly flat, with 3 bank sides, and it's on these steep banks that I've decided to plant the fruit trees. The trees I'm planting here are feijoas, also known as pineapple guava. Feijoas are great, a really delicious fruit, sweet with a pineapple taste and a slightly sour tang to them. They don't travel well and need to be eaten soon after picking, so if you haven't tried them, this is probably why. If you can grow them where you live, I'd highly recommend it. I'm planting them here on the west-facing slope as it gets a lot of wind straight off the ocean. Most fruit trees probably wouldn't grow too well here, but I know feijoas will survive. I'm digging the holes several times bigger than the plant pots so I can terrace the land around the tree. That way I'll have a larger area to mulch. This also works as a nice place to catch rain for the trees in the drier months. I'm spacing the trees reasonably close as I want them to grow together and form a wind barrier for the rest of the fruit trees. This bank is north facing, so facing the sun as we're in the southern hemisphere. It's reasonably protected from the wind and it gets sun pretty much all day. I'm planting a pomelo here, and in the past few months I've planted nectarine, peach, plum, apple, oranges, grapefruit, bananas, lemons and limes.
Oh, look at that. That's great.
This is an apricot. I mulch and stake all of the trees. The mulch makes a massive difference in the summer. Without it, the soil dries out in just one day in the hot sun. As the wood chip decomposes, it will also add nutrients to the soil and improve the soil structure. This is the east slope. It's super protected down here, and it's where I'm planting all my subtropicals that won't tolerate any wind or frost. So far I have avocado, tamarillo and macadamia. We're based at 37 degrees south here in this part of New Zealand. So in the northern hemisphere, that's the same latitude as places like the middle of California, southern Spain, that kind of thing. Those places are really hot and dry. This is an oceanic climate. It's a thin strip of a country, and we get like wild weather coming in off the ocean. So we get a lot more rain than those places, and it's also nowhere near as hot. And that makes growing things here kind of interesting. It's like on the verge of being subtropical, somewhere between. So we don't really get frosts, and especially not if it's in a protected area. So everything I've planted today has been sort of fairly calculated. Over the other side on the west, where all the wind comes from, I've put in feijoas. Feijoas are really amazing fruits. They're also I think they're called something like, is it pineapple guava, I think is the other name for them. So I'm kind of using them as a bit of a windbreak for all the other plants. And then as we move away from the wind, we've then got citrus and things like that can handle a little bit of wind. And on this side, we've got this big steep bank, and this area gets no wind, and it's really hot down here. So this is where I'm planting subtropicals. This is a Babaco. I think they come from South America. Really delicious fruit. I've only eaten them once before. So that Babaco tree is going to be incredibly well protected. It won't get any frost down here, I don't think, and it gets light for a good chunk of the day. So that should do really well. But let's see. It'll be interesting to work all of this stuff out. I built these compost bins a few months back. Some of the pallet wood isn't in great shape, so I'm replacing a few of the broken bits. So this is my little 3-bay composting system, and it's working so well. I've only had it a few months, and it's already just making compost. I'll show you what stage we're at. So this has only been in 3 months, 4 months, something like that. And you can see that, this was grass essentially, and already, okay, it's not quite compost yet, but it's definitely it's a lot more broken down than everything in the new bin. I think for 3.5, 4 months, I think that's pretty amazing. These are going pretty good. Just bought them the other day. I've got 2 of these in the ground, and then a different variety called Cavendish, which struggled a bit in the storm. I'll show you that one as well. I bought this banana palm about 2 or 3 months ago, and since then we've had a cyclone. I think I also buried it way too deep in the ground, and we've had tons of rain over this period, and it just rotted out, unfortunately. Didn't work out too well. But these have just started to come up. There's one here and there's another one just round here. It's just so good. I'm kind of amazed. There are these little roots coming out the bottom and it's just sent these up. So yeah, I'll keep an eye on this. It's growing so fast. It's autumn in New Zealand, so I'm planting winter vegetables, spring onions and chard here to replace the tomato plants. Well, if you made it this far, I appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you next week.